Hello, I'm Rob Phillips. Welcome to my channel where I offer smart, accessible yoga and meditation for students of all levels. Today we're going to be doing a 30-minute Yin Yoga class that's going to be structured around the theme of inquiry practice. So inquiry is a technique that we can use in meditation practice to help us kind of uncover things about reality or things about our experience that might not be immediately obvious. I'll of course explain a bit about this along the way, so even if you've never done it before, I think you'll appreciate this opportunity to give it a shot. In terms of props, I'm going to recommend having a blanket for this class. And finally, as always, if you enjoy these videos, consider giving me a like and consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see videos like this each week. Whenever you're ready to get started here, we're going to find our way into a comfortable seat. So set up in your comfortable seat here using any props you'd like. And once you've got yourself in position here, you can rest your hands onto the thighs or onto the lap. And then close your eyes. And we'll begin to settle. So this idea of inquiry, as I said briefly in the introduction, revolves around the idea of asking ourselves questions about the nature of our experience. So we're going to begin right away here by simply asking ourselves, what am I experiencing here in this moment? And as you ask yourself this question, just remember there's no technically correct answer. There's nothing specific that you're looking for really with any of these questions that I'm going to offer today. The questions, this line of inquiry, is just a way to reframe our relationship with our experience itself. So again, simply asking ourselves, what is my experience in this moment? Or maybe what is arising within the awareness? And as you ask yourself these questions, just notice how the attention responds to it. Notice how these simple lines of inquiry can help to shift our relationship to whatever is already arising. Now, of course, here on a physical level, keep the body relaxed, keep the spine aligned so everything feels nice and open, nice and spacious here. We'll settle here for just another minute or so, but one more time, just asking yourself, what is my experience here in this moment? Connect with whatever resonance that question is giving you. Here now you can take a final gentle inhale breath through your nose. As you exhale out your mouth, you can lower the chin down. Slowly open the eyes. And from here, first proper pose for today's sequence is going to be a wide-kneed child's pose. So definitely one where I think a blanket is a good idea to use. So you can pick yourself up if you were sitting on it. Consider taking your blanket and opening it up a little bit wide, something like this. Maybe folding it over a second time. If you don't have access to a blanket, remember that you can always fold your mat sideways and kind of turn that way. And so as you sit up here, you're going to come into a child's pose, but separate the knees fairly wide enough that you're now feeling a bit of release onto the inner thighs. If you need more support under the ankles or hips, you're welcome to use that, of course, too. But then gradually extending the torso forwards, setting yourself up here and relaxing into our first pose of our main sequence. So most of our focus today will be this inquiry practice that we're working with, but I always give kind of the general guidelines for the physical practice here as we work. Most importantly is as you set up these poses, at no point should you feel strong, sharp, or intense sensation in any way. If anything feels sharp or intense, you're going to want to back out. You're going to want to reconfigure the pose until you no longer feel anything like that. We'll linger in these poses for several minutes typically, but remember, you're also welcome to leave early. And in fact, you can always continue the more mindful part of the practice, regardless of the pose you've chosen. So keeping the level of intensity as kind of your number one thing to consider here. But assuming that the pose does feel safe, assuming that the level of intensity is that light to moderate level, in that case, really let yourself relax. Really let yourself settle and land here. And again, as you settle into this first proper pose for our main sequence, you might ask yourself, what is my experience within this moment? What is arising within the awareness? Notice how the body and the mind respond to that somewhat rhetorical question. Question that has no definite answer other than what we notice in response to it. Take just a few more moments here, a few more slow breaths in this first pose. Really do let yourself settle. And whenever it arrives here, you'll take one more complete breath. And to come out from here, you can now slowly begin to extend yourself all the way forwards onto the floor. Take your time with that. And just understanding that it's normal if you feel a little creaky or achy. That's just the natural effect of the tissues absorbing that longer hold that you just finished. As you settle here, take a few slow breaths to let things integrate, to let things settle. In just a few more moments, we want to let the body resonate. We want to let it integrate. Still, consider asking yourself, what is my experience in this moment? Let's take a gentle inhale breath through our nose. Gentle exhale breath out our mouth. You can slowly press yourself back up and away from the floor. So for next pose, we're going to start out on hands and knees. So you can pad yourself with your blanket if you'd like here. I often like to do that just to give myself a little bit of extra cushion. I'm actually going to give two options for how we can interpret this next pose. We're going to either come into Anahata, melting heart pose, or we're going to come into dolphin prelude. They're both kind of chest and shoulder openers. So you're going to keep your hips nice and high, walking the arms forwards. This expression is Anahata, or melting heart pose. So with the palms flat, we extend back, feeling that release through the chest, shoulders, and back. Another way we can interpret this that's maybe slightly stronger is called dolphin prelude. In that case, you would have the elbows on the floor, maybe in prayer hands, as you draw back. And even consider raising the hands up off the floor, so you're resting just on the elbows in that expression. So remembering for all of these, you're going to feel something going on. And like I said, the main target areas are the chest, shoulders, the upper back. Never feeling anything intense or sharp. If you do feel anything like that, probably going to want to back out a bit. If everything feels safe, everything feels well, relax into the pose. Really settle into the shape. We'll start with that same line of inquiry we've been working with, but we'll also begin to develop that a little further. But first here, asking yourself, what is my experience here in this moment? How does the attention respond to that simple question? We can also add a secondary line of inquiry that kind of complements the first one, and one of my favorite ones that I offer when I'm teaching a Yin Yoga practice. We might ask ourselves, what am I holding on to that could be let go of? What am I holding on to that could be let go of? And note how the body and the mind respond to that inquiry. Again, no right or wrong response. Just notice your unique resonance with that. As we settle here for a few more moments. Please take a final complete breath right here. And from here, carefully unravel your way out. And what I'm going to recommend as kind of our counter for this is sitting back basically into more of a closed-legged child's pose. You can rest your forehead on the floor. And if you're comfortable to do so, take your arms back. So it's going to be a nice counter release for the shoulders and the spine after what you've just done. I will put out there if you'd prefer to rest on your belly or your back, that's fine too. Find some comfortable position and just let yourself be there. And as you rest here, notice and observe just what your experience is. Consider asking yourself our line of inquiry. What is my experience here in this moment? What am I holding on to that might be let go of? Let's take a gentle inhale breath through our nose. Take a gentle exhale breath out our mouth. From here, we'll make our way upright into seated position. Now, as you come up here, I can recommend refolding your blanket if you'd like. I like to make it kind of like a nice, neat rectangle, a little bit of a cushion for myself to sit on top of. Here now, as we come up, you can extend both legs out and in front of you. Let the legs relax, let them settle for a few moments. So let's keep our left leg as a straight leg here, and you're going to draw the sole of the right foot inside, coming into a half butterfly shape. If you feel anything going on in your knee here, you might consider grabbing like a blanket or a pillow, even a yoga block to park under there. Make sure there is nothing going on there. And similarly, you can even slide something behind the bend of this left knee if you feel like it needs support. But once you've got your basic setup in place, make sure that left leg is relaxed. And once you found that, you'll inhale for some length. Exhale to ease your way forwards here. Again, literally any amount. You want to come far enough forwards in the pose that you feel maybe some release onto the leg, and some practitioners may feel this more on the back body. That's not incorrect either. Just ensure that nothing feels intense. Just ensure that you really can relax and settle here. Once you've settled into the physical pose, working with this simple line of inquiry. What am I experiencing in this moment? What am I holding on to that might be let go of? And definitely remember with both of these inquiries or both of these questions, I'm not just talking about the body. I'm talking about all of our senses, talking about our internal environment too, the mind and our feelings, whatever is arising here. So again, can you ask yourself, what am I experiencing in this moment? What am I holding on to that might be let go of? Notice how both the body and the mind respond to that simple line of inquiry. Take a final complete breath right where you are here. Slowly as you inhale, you can roll up, and as you roll up, I'm going to invite you to relax the shoulders a bit. You can roll that straight leg a bit just to release there. And switch our sides, so you can take the right leg forwards. I'm going to take a moment to relax that and draw the left foot inside. And as I said on the first side, of course, use whatever props you need to feel comfortable on this left leg, and it doesn't need to come in super tight or anything like that. Once you've got this set up here, you can inhale for a bit of length. Exhale to ease your way forwards and down into your fold. As you work into this fold, again, find an edge that's light to moderate at most. Place where you know the pose is doing some work, but that it's very much sustainable. Nothing at all intense about it. And so, of course, those first two lines of inquiry really could be considered a whole practice in and of themselves. You could just use those two lines to kind of guide your whole practice for maybe even a lifetime. Just to add to this exploration, I'm going to add one that's maybe a little more nuanced. And kind of see how body and mind respond to this one. So asking yourself here, what is it like to be in this moment with no resistance? Or another way we might frame a similar question. What is it like to fully connect with things just as they are? What is it like to be in this moment with no resistance? What is it like to fully connect with things just as they are? Note how body and mind respond to these questions. Remember, there's no actual answer that we're looking for here. Please take just one more complete breath right here where you are. Slowly roll your way up and away from the fold. And take a moment to relax the shoulders as you'd like, to relax that straight leg. And let's unravel the bent leg too here. So you can take that leg forwards. Let it move, let it release a bit. Here at this point, let's make our way all the way onto our backs. So this is not quite our final Shavasana, but we're going to lay here for a minute or so and just kind of let the body settle, especially after forward folding. I find that feels quite nice just to give ourselves a little chance to reset, little chance to neutralize. Staying present and connected. Again, we can use that first question. What is my experience here in this moment? Take a gentle inhale breath through our nose. Take a gentle exhale breath out our mouth. Let's walk both feet in. Take a few moments and sway the knees side to side. Loosen up the hips, loosen up the side body in general here. Let's now cross the left leg on top. We're setting up for a twist. So with the left leg crossed over the right here, you can roll all the way over to the right. And then carefully open your left arm out and alongside you. Forgive me, setting up my timer so we stay the right amount. There we go. So with the left arm opened out alongside you, you can relax the belly, you can relax the shoulders. Remember, you can always modify this twist and do anything similar that feels right for your body. Just a few more poses for today's class. A few more opportunities to work with this inquiry practice. What is it like to be in this moment without resistance? What is it like to fully connect with things, just as they are? Feel how body and mind respond to these simple questions. Take one more breath right here. You can slowly wind the knees into the middle. Slowly undo your cross. Shift and move for just a few seconds. Setting up for second half, so cross your right leg on top. Slowly rolling over towards your left. From your left, gradually extending your right arm anywhere comfortable alongside you. Again, any variation of a similar twist is totally fine, so find something that feels good for you. As the body relaxes, again, one last chance here to work with this simple inquiry practice. What is this moment without resistance? What is it like to connect with things just as they are? Take a final complete breath right here. Slowly roll into the center. Unravel the legs and shift, release for a few moments. Take your time to set up for a brief Shavasana. Of course, if you have more than the allotted time for this video, welcome and encourage you to stay as long as you would like. Otherwise, for us here, we can take just a few moments to soften and settle. Eyebrows release, the cheeks and the jaw release. Really feel the body supported by the floor beneath you. Let's take a gentle inhale breath through our nose. Gentle exhale breath out our mouth. Settling here in stillness for just a minute or two so that the body and mind can integrate all of the work that we've just done. So just take a few more moments on your back as you are to tune in, reconnect. Feel the breath deepen slightly, and if you'd like, introducing some small movements from there. Allowing those movements to help you make your way onto your side, and from there up into a comfortable seat with your eyes closed. In this seat, one last moment of presence, maybe one last time asking yourself, what is my experience here in this moment? Finally, from here, we'll end as I always do with a short offering of metta, loving kindness. So I'll say just a few phrases, and if the meaning of these phrases creates a connection for you, consider repeating that phrase internally to deepen the connection. So we'll join the hands in front of the heart. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings live with ease and freedom from suffering. And may we dedicate our practice for the benefit of all beings. And we bow. So thank you so very much, as always, for joining me for this practice, and especially today where we're kind of introducing a new concept. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and consider subscribing to my channel, because I'll be coming out with new videos like this each and every week. Finally, if you want to keep this practice going, I'm going to recommend checking out this guided meditation right over here.